Are the screens visible? Just trying to check it.
Yes, ma'am. It's
Okay.
visible.
It's moving.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Dr. Vandana Chaudhary ma'am and my dear participants. It is our privilege to welcome you all to today's session of the 7 days faculty development program on entrepreneurship across dimensions, innovation, finance and intellectual property rights. Today's topic, business model innovation for startups and SMEs in India, will offer valuable insights into creating sustainable, competitive, and scalable business model in the Indian entrepreneurial ecosystem. To enrich our understanding of this topic, we are privileged to have with us distinguished academician Dr. Bandana Chaudhary ma'am, whose expertise and scholarship perfectly align with today's session. It is a great pleasure and to introduce Dr. Bandra Chaudhary, a distinguished academician and researcher in the field of economics. She is currently serving as an professor in the Department of Economics, Guwahati University, where she has been associated since 2016 and is actively contributing to teaching, research, and academic development. Doctor Chaudhary completed her graduation from College, Guwahati, followed by her master's degree and MPhil in economics from Guwahati University. In addition, she has earned another master's degree in public administration, reflecting her strong interdisciplinary academic foundation. Her PhD from the Department of Humanities and Indian Institute of Technology, Guwahati, one of the India's premier institutes of higher learning. Her core areas of specialization include public development economics and environmental economics. Dr. Chaudhary has made significant scholarly contributions through research paper presentation at several national and international seminars and conferences, and her work has been published in reputed journals. She has also been closely associated with important national level policy research initiatives. Doctor Chaudhary served as a member of research team commissioned by the 14th Finance Commission, Government of India, for preparing their report on evaluation of state finances with respect to state of Assam. Further, she worked as a research associate with the research team commissioned by the 15th Finance Commission, Government of India, contributing to the report on outcome evaluation of state finances and determination of a sustainable debt roadmap for 2020 to 25, considering the impact of GST and tax or non-tax trends. Beyond her academic and research pursuits, Dr. has delivered invited lectures across various institutes in India and has served as a resource person for training UPSC, APSC, and NET set aspirants, thereby contributing meaningful to capacity building and competitive examination preparation. Dr. Chaudhary's interests extend well beyond the classroom. She is a Vishar, which is equivalent to BA degree in Hindustani classical music vocal from Bhatkhande Vidyapith, Lucknow, and holds a Ratna, which is equivalent to MA degree in Bharatnatyam dance from Sarva Bharati Sangeeto Sanskriti Parishad, Kolkata. She is presently an executive member of Wushu Association of Assam and vice president of the Archery Association of Assam, actively engaging in the sports administration, extracurricular activities, and community service initiatives. With her strong academic credentials, policy oriented research experience, and commitment to holistic development, Dr. Bandana Chaudhary continues to make valuable contributions to academics, research, and society at large. Thank you, ma'am, for joining us today. We now request you to kindly take over the session.
Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction. So, thank you to Professor Harshit Sinha also for the invitation, IIMT College Director, and special thanks to Professor A.K. Tomar for the invitation. And thank you, Madam, again for the beautiful introduction. So, let me start. So, the topic for today's session is business model innovation for startups and SMCs in India. So coming to the first slide, we can see here that this is a product manager resume. So what can we see here? We can see here that a cat is dressed as a lion and is projected in the screen. So in the same way, when we project anything, we have to project in such a way that even a cat should feel that he's like a tiger or a lion. So also there are ideas when they pop in our head. Those are that beautiful Jurassic Park dragons. But when ideas you need to explain them theoretically on paper, on screen, it becomes just like a logo of a computer tab. Now, why this whole thing, why innovation is important, why business model innovation is important, what is the process for business model innovation? We will all go through the different processes. But before coming to that, we just need to understand that India is witnessing a structural transformation in entrepreneurship, and there are over 100 million MSMEs and more than 1.25 lakh DPIIT recognized startups. So DPIIT is Department for Promotion of Industry and Internal Trade, which recognizes startups. And there is a strong policy push under India, that is Startup India, Make in India, and now Viksit Bharat 2047. So the central challenge is no longer starting a business is not a problem, but to sustain it and to scale them to higher heights is the issue. So, being an economist, I have some little bit of data which suggests that there are more than 70% startups which fail not due to lack of technology or capital, but due to bad business models which are flawed. And these business model innovation, particularly this session which I'm going to talk through with you all, is crucial for startups and MSMEs and operate under constraints of finance, skills, market access, and regulatory compliance. And this whole session will focus on how startups and SMEs in India can innovate their business models, not merely their products, and in order to survive, grow, and remain competitive. So first we need to understand why a business model is important, or why does it matter? Why are we studying this whole session? So a business model, it explains how an organization creates, delivers, and captures value. So in today's volatile world, which just keeps changing, it is very uncertain whether uh, um, it is known as VUCA, VUCA, which is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous. And innovation in products alone is insufficient. Just an innovation is not will not work. It has to come to the market. People has to get attracted to that innovative thing of yours. So a lot of things follow up, which will we go in the next slides, which will try to understand in the next slides. So firms are increasingly competitive, and through innovative business models this is possible, and they do not only follow tough difficult technological superiority alone, but one who has better innovative skills will rule the market. And this is where business model canvassing becomes a powerful tool for business in model innovation. So before we come to BMI, which is business model innovation, we have to understand what BMC is, that is business model canvassing. So let us just try to understand what is business model canvassing and innovation is all about. So BMI, it refers to the novel changes in how value is created, delivered, or captured. So which involves new customers, new value propositions, new revenue mechanisms, and new partnerships. So, I do not want to just give you theoretical ideas about things. I would like to give examples with which we can relate to. So, in the later slides, I will give you examples of different apps, different softwares, different things that we are actually using, but we do not know that it is actually business model canvassing or innovation. So, in short, we can say that business model innovation does not require inventing a new product, but it involves reconfiguring existing elements. It is already there in the society, in the system, in the market, but we just try to reconfigure it or restyle it. So now why BMI matters for Indian startups and SMCs? Since this session is all about Indian startups, SMCs, So let us relate BMI with startups and SMCs because Indian startups have very limited research and development capability. We do not have high finances. We have very less profit margins, high competition, informal competition, and there is regional and social diversity. So BMI becomes a low cost but high impact innovation strategy. Now, what is BMC? So, coming to BMC, Business Model Canvas is a strategic tool which is used to develop and visualize business models. It provides a clear framework that helps entrepreneurs, startups, and established businesses to understand, to design, and to innovate their business models. So, originally, this whole idea was introduced by Alexander Osterwalder in his thesis, The Business Model Ontology, a proposition in design science approach. And since then, the business model canvas template has been taught at business schools and iterated upon to fit more niche businesses. Now, why use BMC? Because it simplifies complex business ideas, it offers a structured approach to brainstorming, it enhances strategic planning and decision making, and finally, it promotes collaboration and innovation. So there are certain stages in BMCs which are key partners, key activities, resources, value propositions, customer relationship, which is very important, customer segments, channels, revenue streams, and cost structure. So we will try to understand all the stages one by one. So coming to the 9 building blocks, we come to the first building block, that is customer segment. So as you can see, we know Netflix. So whatever I say, just try to compare it with Netflix. I'm sure there are many Netflix users. So we try to identify, not we, what does Netflix try to do? It tries to identify different groups of people or organizations a business can serve. So customer segments are different segment of the customers in the society. So there is, they may focus on young adults or middle-aged people. So people who are very interested in movies, people who are interested in entertainment, these come under the customer segments of Netflix. So whenever a model is in the market, they will first try to identify who the customer is, who will they target. So company produces different products will need to interact with different type of customers. For Netflix users, there are different customers. For Hotstar, there are different customers. For Z5, there are different customers. So basically, Netflix serves as a multi-per customer segment, including individual subscribers and families. We also have a very beautiful offer by Netflix that it can be $5.99 for one person or one screen, and maybe $7.99 for 3 screens. So that is a very interesting way of handling customers, which is for one, it is individual subscriber, but for more than one or for 3 people, it is a family pack. Also, airlines offer tickets that way. For economy, business, and first class customers, it is different. And especially first class customers have access to special benefits and luxury travel. On priority basis, they'll get everything. But economy passengers are provided less support, thus their cost is also less. And now a lot of people can travel by air because of the cost efficiency. Next, the second stage is value proposition. We need to understand what is a value proposition. What is value? We all have value in our lives. What is that value? It is the unique value a company provides to its customers. So I'm sure some of you, if not all, will have Apple iPhones. So what is different in an Apple iPhone? Isn't it the same? No, it isn't. It has some unique quality. It may give you better satisfaction. It may give you better um, security. So these are special value propositions attached to certain brands. So these are the most important element of business model canvas, and it determines the fundamental offering the company is trying to give its customers, and it is the primary driver of business operations. So Apple has their iPhone, which has special encrypted codes and all, where all types of apps and software cannot be installed. It provides premium quality innovation and a seamless ecosystem. Also, we have Spotify. I'm sure some of you all use it. Spotify's value proposition is like music for everyone. So you can hear your regional language, like music or Hollywood music, Bollywood music, Tollywood music, whatever music you want to. It is music for everyone. Next, we have channels. So, in order to implement your value proposition and customer segment, you need channels. So, what are channels? Channels are the means through which a company delivers its value proposition to its customers. So, channels are different structures and methods that are used to deliver the company's product and value proposition to its customers. It encompasses all of the company's supply, distribution, and marketing channels. It is important to consider that all channels of a company and make sure they are functioning cohesively. So, taking the example of Amazon, I'm sure most of you all use it. So, Amazon uses online platforms, it also has mobile apps and third party delivery services. And it needs to consider how its fulfillment centers and shipping services are integrated to send out timely shipments. Next, we have customer relations. So this is also very important in business modeling because the owner has to have a very good relationship with its customers for the company to sustain. So how a company interacts with and maintains relationship with its customers is very, very important. So customer relationships are different types of interactions a company has with its customers. For example, Amazon focuses on customer service with a no questions asked return policy. So when you're a person taking Amazon facility, but you do not want to take Amazon anymore, you can just uninstall or deactivate the whole thing or delete it also, and it will not have any questions asked when you return things or you just close your whole account. Also a designer suit company will provide significant help for customers, tailoring to their needs and working directly with them to create the suit they actually want. Next, we have revenue streams. So we have to keep in mind nobody does it for free. Definitely, they have back of their mind to have some amount of profit. So how does the revenue stream work? Is actually how a company generates income from its value propositions. Revenue streams are company's source of cash flows. They are the final element of business model canvas template, and the company might have several revenue streams. So, taking the example of Spotify again, Spotify earns revenues from subscription fees, ads, and even Apple has their revenue streams because it has a variety of products like Apple Music, from which it can earn revenue. Revenue earning is nothing but income generation, a source of income generation. Sorry. Next, we have key resources. So, the essential assets which is required to deliver the value proposition are the key resources. So, these are actually assets which are necessary to operate and deliver the value proposition of the company. For example, let us take the example of Tesla. So we all know Tesla's key resources include battery technology, using e-vehicles, patent, its gigafactories. So a diamond mining company cannot operate without its mining equipment. Also, automotive company cannot operate without human capital and expertise that goes into designing cars. So these are the key resources or the essential assets that is required. We also have key activities. So this is very interesting. So what are key activities? These are crucial tasks a company which can perform to deliver its value proposition. So these key activities are specific activities or tasks that are fundamental to the operation of our business. For example, Uber's key activities include developing and maintaining the app. I'm sure you have used Uber, Ola, or something like that. It has driver onboarding, customer services like providing easy and safe rides, managing payments between drivers and riders. So these are key activities. For the whole company to be successful, you have to deliver the value proposition. Whatever is promised has to be delivered. Finally, we have key partnerships. So these key partners are the companies or the people in the business works with which you have to create a strategic relationship. So there are collaborations with other businesses to optimize operations. You have to try to help and maintain efficiency, reduce cost, and also try to stay competitive. For example, Starbucks. So I think you'll have an idea of Starbucks. It's mostly a coffee shop kind of thing. So you they they partner up with suppliers, farmers, and digital payment providers, and it's a huge brand. Finally, we come to the cost structure. So taking the examples of Forever 21 and Gucci, which are companies, the cost incurred in operating the business model is known as the cost structure. It refers to how a company spends money on its operations. It consists of the company's key cost and company's level of focus on cost. And if a company is cost driven, it focuses on minimizing cost and thus prices for customers. Alternatively, if a company is value driven, it focuses on creating value for its customers with less focus on cost. Taking the example is Forever 21, which is a fast fashion company focused on delivering the newest style at low cost, and Gucci is a luxury brand which focuses on delivering high quality clothes and accessories designed with latest trends in the fashion industry. So, for middle class or low income category people, you cannot expect that they will buy Gucci stuff. But Gucci will focus on what kind of customers? Those with more than middle income or a high income of customers. So these are the key partners. Just have a look at this whole table. We have key partners, key activities, value propositions, customer, relationship, channels, segments, revenue streams, cost structure. So taking the example of a faculty, this was made. But now coming to a very interesting slide. So if you could see this, so we have this product manager who, who turns and looks at the lady in red. So this is what he's trying to think, that this will happen or this could happen. But what does business model canvas or his lady to the right indicates? That, hey, my dear friend, you better not have dreams. Rather, you hold hands of whatever little you have in hand and plan out your whole thing. So it gives a reality check to the product manager. Like in the previous class, I think you all talked about thinking or designers rather than being teaching children to be first in class. You have to make them think. So thinking is a big issue nowadays. People do not have concentration levels. There is so low level of focus among students. So giving them a reality check is the business model canvas, how you actually plan out your whole thing. It's basically the map to your final destination. Okay, so coming to from business model canvassing, how can you go to business model innovation? So taking the example of Netflix again. So earlier, what did we have? We had DVD rentals. I'm sure you all had bought CDs and all, 10 rupees ka CDs. You need to have physical logistics per rental value. And new canvas, what does it have? It has on demand entertainment. With the click of a button, you can get any movie you want. So isn't that so much more empowering? Also, we have channels such as digital streaming, revenue, which is subscription model. So old one did not have any business model framing. Rather, the BMC can be applied in the new canvas, which is the Netflix. So innovation occurred through changes in channels and revenue streams, and not only on content. Next, we come to Amul. So I'm taking a few examples of India also, which can be more relevant. So taking the example of Amul, we have the canvas innovation is there are key partners. Who are the key partners? The milk cooperatives. It is our people working for our people. We have value proposition because what value does it have? What is there in Amul which is not in other stuff? It is affordable nutrition. You want to buy something, you can buy at a very low price or at a reasonable price. Revenue, it is scale based, low margin but high volume. So finally, we have some social and economic innovation which is embedded in the business model. For a business model to survive and to succeed, something new has to be done. So that newness is innovation. We also have biodegradable areca nut dinnerware. So if you take an example, so any idea what is areca nut? So areca nut is the pan or the pan supari, the supari that you have, that plant. We call it in our local language tamul. In our local Assamese language, we call it a tamul tree. So also a very interesting fact. I come from the city of Guwahati, and the word Gua means areca nut. Hati means market. So the market with a lot of areca nut plants. So the term Guwahati has come. So we have biodegradable areca nut dinnerware. So nowadays, a lot of dinnerware is not porcelain or china made, but it is mostly biodegradable. Even in nowadays in weddings and some ceremonies also, some disposable plates are not made from thermocol or stuff, plastic, but they are biodegradable. So that is a big startup or a big push that India is moving towards sustainability, which is meeting the needs of the present without compromising the ability of the future to meet their own needs. So, what is that? You use things in such a way that our future generations can also use the things, not that we are using it and finishing it off or exhausting it. So, the resources are still intact in the ecosystem so that our next generations can also use it with the same enthusiasm, with the same quality in their day to day lives. So innovation lies not just in the product, but in partnerships with women it's SHDs. So these are self-help groups. There is green premium pricing. So what is green premium pricing? Suppose a plastic plate costs you 30 rupees, but this plate might cost you 50 rupees. So what will you do? You will pay that 50 rupees and buy this product biodegradable thing because you are ready to pay that additional cost of choosing clean, sustainable, and low carbon products over conventional high emission alternatives. So, this is known as green premium pricing. And also, institutional buyers are key customers. A lot of big institutions, big companies are trying to move towards green economy. So, basically, there is a reconfiguration which leads to inclusive and sustainable business model innovation. We also have Indian startups which innovate using the business model canvassing. So, taking few examples. First is value proposition innovation. So, how do they do it? It is through Indian startups. They customize to local needs. We have frugal innovation, jugaad, what we call in Hindi, jugaad. I'm sure you have heard this word. So, that is frugal innovation. You need something urgently. So, whatever possible resources is there, you just use it, combine it, and then manufacture a certain thing. So that is jugaad. So you combine affordability with excess. So the best example is Ather Energy. So these are electric scooters, but not only electric scooters, they are charging infrastructure, there is software update, there is subscription services. So there is a lot of value proposition innovation. We also have Udan. So have you heard about Udan? It's a business to business platform where small retailers can come to that platform and showcase their whatever they have to sell, they can sell, and different manufacturers can use it. And again, then they are given in the platform for people to buy. So many small and micro enterprises, medium enterprises, they expand by targeting undeserved rural and semi-urban markets, and they shift from B2C, B2B, or B2G. So, business to consumer, business to business, or business to government models. We also have revenue innovation, model innovation. So, what is that? So, revenue innovation is critical to India due to price sensitivity. There are common Indian models like there is subscription, edtech, health tech. So, edtech is on upskilling or upscaling your knowledge. You'll get more certificates, diplomas, and degrees in edtech. There is health tech. You can take care of your health, get better. How you'll know and understand better health tips, better nutrition benefits. You also have freemium. So what is freemium? It comes from two words, free and premium. So that's a freemium, which is Spotify, Canva. So when you want music, you don't need to even go to different music channels or YouTube. You just directly can go to Spotify and it will do the rest of the work. Similarly, Canva. which is so much of in use nowadays by students. They try to make beautiful PPTs through Canva. We are still old school. We make PPTs by ourselves, adding stuff here, there, writing. But nowadays, students, you just give them half an hour, they'll bring you such a brilliant PPT in just a click of a button. There's also pay per use. And finally, I'm sure we all know what is Paytm. It's kind of a wallet where money is saved, and it can be used for different customer or consumer services. And when you use Paytm, although it is giving us a service, it also charges us, which is very minimal and which goes into their account. So it revenue from merchants and financial products can be gained from Paytm. We also have Misho. I'm sure you have heard about these apps. So this is a buying app, of course. So assessing national markets, ONDC enabled. So ONDC is Open Network for Digital Commerce. So it's basically a e-commerce site, and digital infrastructure is there. There's UPI, Aadhaar, platform-based business, direct to consumer, and there is a lot of less intermediary costs. So the cost of middlemen has been reduced to a great extent. Finally, we come to partnership based innovation. So, whenever you want to rise in life, there's a saying which says, walk together. You want to run and you can become first, but if you want to go a long distance in life, you have to hold somebody's hand and you have to walk together. So, just leaving someone behind and moving forward is no good thing in the long run. So when there are key partners or partnership-based innovation, we have self-help groups, cooperatives. There are incubators in universities and colleges, and social CSR-funded institutions, corporate social responsibility. We have the idea of Lakpati Didi initiative by the government of India. We have women-led food processing units integrated with e-commerce platforms. So these are certain things that are prevalent in India. There are Startup India, MSME Samadhan and Champions, Credit Guarantee Scheme, Atal Innovation Mission, NEP 2020, Viksit Bharat. And why are we actually studying this in a FDP course? Doesn't that strike a chord in your mind? So what is that? Why is studying the whole structure of business model innovation, business model canvassing important? Because the faculties play a very crucial role. And what is that role? That is the role of translating policy into practice. Everything can be theoretically done, understood, but it is the faculty who can put that theory thing into a practical thing. So that is translating policy into practice, mentoring student startups. Students have a lot of idea these days, so much of idea, but you have to mentor them and they have to move in a particular correct direction. So there's a beautiful saying which says, when a plant doesn't grow, you do not fix the plant, rather you fix the environment. And that is the role of faculty in any educational institute. We are the people who are capable of fixing the environment so that the plant grows, because the plant cannot grow of its own. The environment has to provide all the necessary nutrition, the sunlight, the water, everything it has to provide. Only then it has to basically give the plant a platform to grow. And that beautiful platform, or the push, or the drivers, the mentors are the faculty. And finally, bridging the academia and industry gap. So we know we have academics, we have industry, but that gap can be bridged through the help of faculty members. So faculty members have a huge role to play, and it is very crucial and vital, and they are basically mentors and facilitators. So just to conclude, before we come to 3 minutes or 4 minutes of activity, we have the business model canvas, which is a powerful tool for structuring business ideas, refining strategies, and ensuring long-term sustainability. And by applying the BMC framework, businesses can identify potential gaps, innovate efficiently, and align their resources for success. We have basically the take home lesson is that business model canvassing is the process, but business model innovation is the outcome. So one is the process which leads to our final destination. So it is the backbone of startup and SMEs success in India, and it enables resilience, scalability, and inclusivity. So these are very three important words. So what is resilience? So resilience, a beautiful example is that of a rubber band. So when you pull a rubber band, the rubber band will expand the till its last point, but when you leave it, it will come back to its normal form. So that is resilience, which is adaptability. In however situation, the model or the whole startup has to adapt itself, especially when the COVID-19 struck us. The markets failed, the industries failed, there was no production. It was so difficult and a messy time. But again, when the COVID-19 was off from the economy bounced back to its original form. There was so it this whole model, this whole concept of business model innovation talks about resilience, how you can adapt yourself. One segment is not working, focus on the next stage. One is not working, let's focus here. Whichever, whatever is possible, whenever, that is resilience. Next is scalability. What is scalability? We do not do things in a small scale, we do it in a very high scale, which gives us a multiplier effect. So that is scalability. And inclusivity, so we do not include only one particular segment of the people, we try to include as many people, as many persons that we can. The area under consideration, the people, the range should be really big so that everyone is included inside it. So it is one of the most powerful pedagogical and practical tool of business model innovation. And we as faculty members are innovation multipliers. We can multiply. If a student is 1, give him more, he'll be 10x. If he's 10, give him more, he'll be 100. So we are innovation multipliers. We will help them to grow and nurture them into being beautiful human beings. So coming to the end of theory class, as the previous lecture was said, we actually need to think. So just me talking and you're listening will do no great thing, but a little bit of activity, something more interesting, may be of help to you. So even in classes, when you all do, I'm sure just a theory class, the students get a little bit of tired, and especially after lunch classes are more tiring. But let us just do a very small activity. I would request you all just to take pen and paper if possible. And if you have an answer, just you can maybe drop a chat. Yes, you're able to do, or no, you're not able to do. Just a little dialogue would be preferable than just being a monologue. So can you see this picture? So any
Participants,
can you see this photograph, like this slide? So can you just tell me what this whole thing is? Because we are talking about business model innovation. Can you identify who the person is?
participants, you can write it
On the chat box.
in the chat box.
Ha. Even a wrong answer would do, but any idea? Okay, this is from the movie Casino Royale. Okay, a James Bond movie where you can see that he's looking onto a map. So why this structure is important, I wanted you all to know. So the Uber idea, you all have used Uber, or you'll know people who have used Uber. So Uber idea was specifically the concept of an on-demand car service with map tracking, and this was inspired by a scene in the 2006 James Bond film Casino Royale. So this picture was seen by this person, Garrett Camp, and then he thought, okay, if James Bond can just with the click of a button, he can use maps. Why not do it in reality? And so by just looking at this picture, he got the idea of the Uber app. So isn't this so thought-provoking and interesting? So with just looking at a movie scene, he got an idea for a on-demand car service where passengers could track their vehicles via map on their phones. So this comes from the movie Casino Royale. We also have another thing. So since this is an online class, I always enjoy offline classes because it's a interaction. At least you can see the participants well. But anyway, since we have to use whatever available resources are there, so these are 9 dots. You have to use 4 straight lines and join the dots without lifting your pen. So if you try to do this, you will see that students, they just fail. If even if you try to do this, just I'll give you 1 minute. If you try, don't share your answers, just try if you can. So if you try to do something in just 1 or 2 uh, messages would be great.
Ma'am, I have seen people doing by folding the paper. Is it the
Oh, ha
correct
ha
way?
ha. No, 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 no. Even we used to do that, but you cannot fold the paper. You have to use just 4 straight lines and you can't even lift your pen. So when you do it, you'll get a lot of answers, but you'll not get 4 straight lines. You'll get more than 4 straight lines to connect the dots. So this is where I would like to say that this is the answer. So nobody will do this. Hardly 1% of the people will do this. So why I have come to this conclusion is that we do not think beyond. So our focus is only on the 9 dots. We do not cross the dots. Why? That is the mental barrier of our mind. Okay. So 5 lines may this thing happens, but in 4 lines it is very difficult. So this is the solution with 4 lines. But to make it more trickier, if we try to say not with 4 lines, only with 3 lines, you have to do this. Using 3 straight lines, can you connect all the dots? So now this is so ekdam very difficult. But as business innovators, you always have to have a solution. So what is the solution now? This is the solution. ठीक है, all the dots are connected, but only 3 straight lines. So the moral of the story or the take home lesson is that you have to think out of the box. So as business model innovators, to understand business model innovation in business model canvassing, business model ideas, or whatever you do, as faculty, we are facilitators, mentors, and we should help students to think out of the box. So this is the take home lesson. And thank you so much for being such patient listeners at this afternoon session also. And if you have any queries or any suggestions or anything you want to share or ask, you're very free to us in the chat box. So is that okay, madam? Like
Yes,
they
ma'am.
can ask anything
Ma'am,
they want
thank
to
you.
ask.
It
Yeah.
was actually a
So
really
thank you.
insightful session. You made the session really interesting with several examples and activity that you did in the last. And you also made it more interesting with some interesting facts like you said gua. We didn't know that gua is areca nut, which is
Ha ha
used
ha
for
ha.
making the sustainable plates. It was really interesting, ma'am.
Hmm.
Ma'am, there is one question in the chat box.
Hmm.
Uh, Ma'am, I'm reading it out.
Uh-huh.
Uh,
Okay.
yes, ma'am. How does business model innovation contribute to financial inclusion, employment generation, and sustainability in India?
Okay. So thank you so much for the question. I think I answered this whole question in those different stages. So how it can contribute to financial inclusion, like when people use these digital platforms, they come into the digital network. So when they start using digital network, they were more financially included in the society. They have bank accounts, they have to do e-payments. So finally, they are financially included. There is a lot of employment generation. Yes, you have now Uber drivers, you have people more into coming into the employment thing, you have delivery boys, there is the gig economy. So that is another thing. And sustainability, I gave an example of like ether scooties, there is Tesla, e-battery, e-technology has been used, and also Ereka nut, which was an example. So I think the whole model innovation contributes not only to inclusion, employment, and sustainability only, but many other issues. So maybe more of revenue generation also, better infrastructure also. So a lot of economic issues are like solved. So,
Ma'am, there is one question from my side. Uh,
please.
how can Indian, because this is the time for AI and sustainability.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am. So, how can Indian startups and SMEs
Mm.
redesign their business model to stay competitive in this AI and sustainable world?
Okay, so there are certain things. AI is also a brainchild of a human being. So AI can never outlive us. But through the use of AI, by taking AI as a tool, if you use it in a more smart way, I'm sure it will be a ladder for your progress. So I won't say AI will replace us as a whole. There are things of services of a nurse or a plumber, which AI can't do. It has to have a human thing. There are nurses who have to take care of elderly people or babies that AI can't do. So, through the help of AI, you can learn better ideas how to help the baby, how to help give elderly care. So, taking help of AI, getting idea, knowledge, you can do it in a better way. So, AI is not
Yes.
something that like it will, because AI has come that everything will go away. No, but you have to use AI in a very smart way, and that is where you have to think out of the box, which is the last slide which I had shown. You have to think out of the box. You have to think what AI can't. AI is just algorithms calculating everything that is in the internet, connecting it and giving in you an output. But the actual idea is that of a human being. That cannot be taken out from the human being. You can take the idea out of a human being, but not the human being from any idea. So that's it.
Very well said, ma'am.
Okay.
Thank you so much, ma'am.
Thank
Is
you
there
so
any
much.
question? I welcome all the participants to ask the question. Ma'am, one question is there in the chat
Yes.
box.
Huh.
But someone is saying, but AI has been uh,
In
in
use.
use these days in
Huh.
multiplying the financial aspect.
Absolutely.
So,
I've said that use it as a tool. Use it. Not that don't stay behind. Use it, but use it as a tool. Don't get used by AI. Use AI. That's it.
okay, ma'am. Okay. So the feedback form will be shared through the WhatsApp, and if there is any question from you participants, please message. Okay. I'm GM Bhatt, ma'am. Sir, actually, he is one of our speakers, ma'am.
Yes, I recently met
Yes, ma'am.
GM Bhatt sir. He's a very well-read person, a very knowledgeable person. So it's very difficult to argue with him or say something which I don't know. So sir
Mm.
is much more experienced than I am. So I think he will help me answer any question that will come. Thank you
Okay,
so
ma'am.
much, sir, for attending the session.
Okay, ma'am. There is no more questions.
Okay.
So
Thank you
thank you
so
for this.
much for the
Yes, auntie.
privilege, and thank you to Sakshi Narayan Madam for being such a wonderful host and having me here. I would love to meet you all in person someday. If given an opportunity, definitely would love to meet you all.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for being a part of FDP of IMT College of Management.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for this insightful
Thank
session.
you so much.